Sara Lozano, and I'm the Dean for Business, Public Safety, and Technology at South Texas College.
Well, Dean Lozano, it's great to meet up with you again.
It's great to see you again.
And I know today the topic's going to be short-term certificates and or occupational skills awards. So for our viewers that perhaps don't know what these are and really don't know the work of South Texas College in this regard, tell us about these.
Well, our short-term certificates are really aimed at something that's going to be short and accessible to our students and also convenient for them. Most of the time they're in a short amount of time, which we consider to be about one semester. Some of those short-term certificates are called OSAs, which are Occupational Skills Awards. And those really give individuals an introduction to that career field. And it does pull some of the classes from an actual certificate or an associate's degree or both. Those OSAs are intended to be stackable and to, like I mentioned, be just an introduction at first to give students that understanding of what this career field is and give them some of the credits that they'll need to continue down that certificate and associate's degree.
Is it the case that because of the state of the economy with all of us coming out of this COVID period, it's the case that the degrees people want to pass these degrees in a much shorter amount of time and get into the workforce? Is that what?
Absolutely. That, and we see the need in our community for a lot of these occupations. A lot of these, the skills that are learned within even just one semester, those skills are needed out in industry, right? We see that in our community that there's a shortage of HVAC technicians, right? There's a shortage of welding technicians, right? And so a lot of that has really contributed to us developing these OSAs specifically, or really trying to condense our certificates to fit within a time frame, but not lowering our standards, right? Still giving the students those skills that they need to be able to be employed and contribute to the workforce here in our community.
So the employers out in the marketplace, they're very pleased with these sorts of skill sets.
They are for the most part, but we are still trying to produce more, right? There's still a demand. So even if we are producing, HVAC technicians, like I mentioned, right? There's still a shortage. And so we're eating away at some of the need and some of that demand, but that still exists. And so that's really what we encourage individuals to come in to get those skills as quickly as they can. We have students that still come back and continue their certificate, but they're already employed, right? Because they have that basic foundation to get started, to get a job, an entry-level position, but it's a job nonetheless, and they will, continue to learn along the way, both within the educational system, but also with their hands-on training out in industry.
Do the students realize how good these skill sets are, that they can get jobs straight away? Is there great demand?
I think so. There's definitely benefit because the faculty that we have on our team, within the college, they are skilled in their own field, right? And so a lot of them are still very connected to industry. They know what the needs are. We listen to our advisory boards, which a lot of times influence what is being taught in the classroom. And so, all of that, the students hear, from very well educated, but also skilled faculty that, hey, you know what, I've been there in industry, this is what is needed. You all are lucky because you're getting this skilled training in a short amount of time, but, don't let that stop your training. Let that just be the first step to continuing your training and your education.
So the fact that you've been responding to the needs of industry here, I know that's always been the mantra at STC, but does it tell us even more just how well you're able to pivot to the changing trends in the industry?
Absolutely. I credit a lot of that to our president, Dr. Solis, and then our administration as well, as our board of trustees. They've always been very supportive with the programs that we're developing. Anytime that we have some ideas of what is going on in industry, right? We'll come in. It's a process, and we have to develop programs sometimes. But we get the support from our administration and from our board of trustees, and they see the need that's out there, and they understand that we're trying to respond to what our community needs, and that means us moving very quickly with a lot of the proposals that we have, especially if we have the support of our community and of our industry to develop such programs, and to we know that it's going to benefit the region even more. So we definitely get have a lot of support from everybody, but I think the main thing is that understanding where we are and how we have to be ahead of the curve, because not only do we need to fill the need that there is now, but we need to anticipate what the need will be in a year or two from now, right? So we always have to be developing what we know is going to be needed in a year or two from now, because that's how long it takes for us to train the students sometimes, and to get things developed and get things going. So we have to be ahead of the curve all the time.
Okay. So if I just run through some of the bullet points related to the short-term certificates or occupational skills awards, we've got getting the training in a semester or less, getting a job faster, job-specific skills that prepare you for immediate employment, dedicated expert training. They fit in with a busy schedule, they're very quick, flexible, giving the student more time to spend with their family, taking advantage of the low tuition, installment plans, payment options. These are some of the key points about this field.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think mainly we look at what is going to benefit the students to, get the skills that they need, but a lot of them still have jobs right now, right? And it may not be in the industry that they're learning. They may just have a job because that's what they need to sustain their family. But we want them to be introduced to these skills so that they can get a better paying job, one that's related to something that they love doing and enjoy doing. And we want it to also be convenient for them. So, we try to have various times for these scheduled courses. We do try to, our welding faculty, you'll ask them, they have some very late evening classes that we started to explore just because we saw that there was a need, and the students responded to that. And these go sometimes past midnight. But, it actually is beneficial to them because weather conditions are a little bit better for when they're practicing this skill, right? Understanding that it's not going to prevent them from working, out in the field when they actually get their job. But while they're training, while they're here with us, we do want to take advantage of the times that will work for them. In addition to actually looking at how efficient it is in the amount of time for them to get the training that they need, but also that it's affordable and it's accessible to them. We want to make sure that that there are opportunities for students to take advantage of the affordability of South Texas College. And we have options also for some scholarships that exist that are very specific to certain programs. Advanced manufacturing, for example, has certain scholarships that are specific to them, or our automotive and diesel programs that are very specific to the students within those fields. And I think that's also, a great benefit to students we see, because in addition to the tuition and fees, even though they're low, there's a lot of additional tools and kits that they need to, supplies that they need to provide for them. And we try to open up those opportunities by providing some scholarships for students whenever we can. We get the help from industry. A lot of times they, donate to our foundation, which is really beneficial for the students to take advantage of that.
So tell us a little bit about the testing and the prerequisites that the students are going to need.
There's really no entry-level tests required. No TSI is required. For the majority of these programs, it's really just, enrolling into the program, declaring their major, and taking these courses, because it's it's not necessary for them to have their TSI. They can stack this into their certificates, and the TSI is not required for that as well for their certificate. So it's really not until they get to their associate's degree, and so we try to work with them while they're working towards that degree. But for entry level into these short-term certificates and specifically the OSAs, there really is not strict requirements for them.
And are they stackable?
Yes, most of these are stackable. Some of them, depending on what they are, for example, the facilities maintenance is one of the OSAs it actually introduces students to construction, HVAC, and the electrician program. So it takes one class of each of those, right? So that's an example. Then the student can choose which career path they want to go through. And if let's say that they choose construction, then the HVAC and the electrician classes that they took in the OSA may not transfer into their certificate, but the certificate one does. And above all, they've taken those skills, right? Those are the skills, nobody can take that away from you. And so we try to encourage students, opening up your abilities to have, additional training in something that's very similar and related will really just open up opportunities for you. So again, most of them are stackable. At least one of the courses within the OSA will stack into the certificate and associate's degree. A lot of times all three of them or four of them will do the same thing. Now the two certificates that we have that are certificates and not occupational skills awards, but they do fit in within one semester. We have that in the Architectural and Engineering Design Technology program, and then also in the Mechatronics program. So those are short-term certificates, 4 or 5 classes, can be taken all in one semester, and it is a certificate that, at least for the architectural one, does stack into an associate's degree. And for the mechatronics one, that one will get you employed, right after you've gotten those skills.
So do you ever hear back from the students that you've sort of, in some cases, perhaps changed their lives, that they've got the certificate, they've gone out into industry, they've found a job straight away, they're on a good career path, they're on really good wages, because some of these jobs are obviously well paid.
Right.
Do you hear back? What sort of feedback do you get?
Oh, it's exciting to hear from students. A lot of our faculty will share, when students have, pay increases because they learned additional skills, right? Or even just the students coming back themselves and sharing with other students. We have that a lot. It's really nice to hear them share their experience and saying, I didn't really think that college was for me, but I took 1 or 2 classes. It led me to 2 or 3 more classes. And then, here I am working at SpaceX or working for Tesla or working at this, architecture firm or at this business. It's really exciting to hear from the students. And I think some of the benefits that they see, they may not see it immediately when they're in the program, but that's really why it benefits us to have those students come back in and we tell them, talk to these students. You were once in their shoes and share with them the experience that you have now and you're able to look back and in retrospect, just, understand how beneficial it was to go through something extremely affordable and accessible to you and here in the Valley, and then being able to contribute to this community here is really helpful.
And I imagine when they come back and tell you these things, that's probably the best validation that you get, that your work here at STC in your particular field is relevant.
Absolutely, it's really nice to see. Now with the OSAs, they don't graduate, they don't go through the graduation ceremonies until they get a certificate that's a little bit longer or the associate's degree, but we do hear those stories of the students who may have started with these short-term certificates, right, and continued over the years and completed, at graduation. We get to see some of those success stories. This past graduation, there was a husband, wife, and daughter that all walked across the stage together, and it's really nice to see those students, to hear directly from them. A lot of times I hear we're an STC family because their entire family has gone to STC and been impacted in that way, and it absolutely validates the work that we do here at the college, and really what we're here for is being a college for our community.
Can you remember which programs and courses the father, the mother, and the child, the student?
The father, from what I remember, the father was in construction, so he completed his degree in construction. The mother in culinary arts, and the daughter, I believe she was in social work. And so, yeah, walking across that stage together, whether they're in the same program or different programs, they graduated as students of South Texas College at the same time. And I think that's something really special to
It's
see.
quite a combination, though, isn't
Right.
it? Different industries.
A variety of industries, and I think that really opens up the doors to understanding what South Texas College is for so many people, that we have opportunities for a variety of programs and a variety of skills, a variety of jobs that are all needed out in industry, and for the opportunity also to get a foundation of education, of higher education here before continuing on, in social work, if that's something to continue on to. She's at least started her foundation here with us, and we've established a really solid foundation for her to continue her education.
And what about industry? What about the businesses? What sort of feedback do you get from that area?
I as the dean, I'm constantly getting calls and requests, and just asking for who can I talk to get more technicians in this industry or that industry, and we've heard a lot from industry professionals that they know the quality of work that we produce here at South Texas College. They know what our standards are. They see it because they have individuals there that have worked, that have been working for them, that came from South Texas College. And a lot of times that alone is enough for them to reach back out to us and say, hey, we need somebody else. We need some more students from your college because we know what you've produced. We see the work ethic that these individuals have, and they talk about the skills and the training that they acquired while here with us at the college. And I think that's really helpful to us because we rely so heavily on the industry hiring our students, right? So we want to make sure that when they leave South Texas College that they are fulfilling the needs of what our industry has. And in order to do that, we have to hear from them. We have to hear the input from our industry to make sure that we are doing what we do, and we're doing it the right way. And if they have recommendations and suggestions, we rely heavily on our advisory committees to give us those recommendations and those suggestions, because ultimately they're the ones that are going to be hiring our students. So we want to make sure to prepare them in the best way possible.
We hear talk that maybe one day, perhaps sooner than we might think, that the Rio Grande Valley will be an attractive place for the advanced manufacturing, for these semiconductor big plants that require a lot of very well trained staff. If we land something like that, would STC be ready to, for that sort of level?
I think so. I think we are at the point where our faculty at least are trained and ready to train the next group of students to come in. It really is a matter of individuals becoming aware of what the opportunities are here. And when businesses move into this region, I know a lot of times that's what they ask, right? Where do individuals get their skill set from? Where is the training? What are the colleges and trade schools, like here in this region? And South Texas College has stood out as one of the leading colleges here in this region to develop, individuals to have those skills. And our faculty are constantly getting developed themselves, and constantly going to trainings on what is coming next. We have our automotive faculty who are getting training in hybrid vehicles, and next will be, in fully
driverless.
I think, what is that term called? Hybrid and electric vehicles. Thank you. Sorry. So yeah, we have our automotive technicians, or our automotive faculty are getting those skills so that they can then train students in hybrid or electric vehicles. And I think that's really, that just shows the commitment that we have here at the college to be ready for whatever is going to come next. Our mechatronics faculty and our department chair there from there. She's actually, we have a partnership with Intel, and she's doing training to incorporate artificial intelligence in manufacturing into those mechatronics classes. And so, you know, when you talk about the faculty that we have and the commitment that we have to being ready for what's coming next, we're already there. There's already that in place and that support system to ensure that our faculty are constantly getting trained to be ready for, you know, what's coming next.
That's cutting edge, isn't it?
It is.
It's right on the
Yeah.
edge of where things are
Absolutely.
happening now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really exciting to see that too. You know, sometimes it's hard to capture everything that we're doing because we're doing so much, but individually, everybody here at the college is committed to improving our community, and they know the responsibility that lies on them, you know, and what they're contributing to as part of this growth of the region.
Sort of a left field question here, but I'm sure I know your answer. Are you aware just how much of a game changer STC is in Starr County?
Yes, yes, of course. You know, our board of trustees, and especially Ms. Rose Benavides, our chairwoman, she is, you know, always informing us of all of the things that are going on in Starr County. And you know, I've been to several events that really honor and recognize the work that South Texas College has done for our entire region, but specifically for Starr County. And I think it's really special to hear that, you know, from community members who have grown up, you know, we'll be celebrating 30 years this year, right? So over the last 30 years that the college has been in Hidalgo and Starr County, and just to really see the change that it brought to our region, and looking at what it brought to Starr County especially, has been really, really inspiring. And you know, it's exciting to think about what we're going to do in the next 30 years.
Well, Dean Lozano, those are all the questions I had. Is there anything I've missed? Anything else you want to add?
No, I just thank you for this opportunity. You know, like I said, there's always something exciting going on at the college, and this is just one little piece of the college, and it's exciting to share that with our community. And you know, if anybody has questions or would like to find out more information, especially about our Occupational Skills Awards, they can visit us at southtexascollege.edu/OSA for Occupational Skills Awards. And you know, any of our department chairs within any of these programs, we're all happy to you know, talk to and answer any questions that anybody might have. And we look forward to seeing the continued growth of our region.
Well, thank you so much for
Awesome.
today's interview.
Of course. Awesome. Thank you.